Welcome into the Sports Blitz social scene presented by Lee Marketing Group and the Sure Shot. I'm your host, Randy Lee Jr. The Sports Blitz social scene is a weekly one-on-one interview with coaches, players, even businesses that support athletics in our communities around Alabama. This week, we're at Show Your Colors at Benjamin Russell High School, where we'll catch up with numerous players, coaches, dance team, and band members. So let's go catch up with them.
The Sure Shot, located on Highway 280 in Alexander City, is Lake Martin Sportsman's headquarters. In the market for a new rifle or shotgun? Come to the Sure Shot. Want a new bow or need to practice with the one you have? Come to the Sure Shot. Thinking about a firearm for self-defense? Come to the Sure Shot. Got a hunt planned and need some gear? Come to the Sure Shot. For all your archery, shooting, and hunting needs, let the Sure Shot be your first stop.
Welcome back to Show Your Colors here in beautiful downtown Alexander City. We're at the BRHS band practice field, and I've got Coach Danny Horn with me now of the BRHS Wildcats. Coach, how you doing?
Great, great.
Want to get into football, obviously, but I also want to give you a moment to talk a little bit about an event that happened last night. A drawdown event that was put on by the quarterback club, and I want you to tell everybody about that event so that they can get ready for it next year, obviously, if they didn't participate this year, and also where the money goes from that event.
Oh, we had a great time. I'm telling you, it was probably the best time I've had since I've been here. We sell $100 tickets, and you got a chance to win $5,000, and it all goes to the quarterback club. And you know, it's really a great deal. I was telling, in fact, my mother said, well, I mean, this is a great deal because, you know, you buy a $100 ticket, but you get two people that can eat steak dinners, and you know that's $20 a plate right there. So that's $40. So really, you got $60 in it. Plus, if they do call your name out, you get everybody gets a prize. So it's a great function, and we had the most tickets sold. We sold right at 400 tickets, and it's a great event. A lot of, you know, the last 25 people that's in it can, if they get the ticket drawn, can pay $100 to get the ticket put back in only once. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we had like 14 people do that, and of course it takes a little bit longer, but and then the final winner. But we had 2 tickets left, and the winners, they split it. So it was a great night.
It really was. It's always a lot of fun. How many years has this been going on?
Oh, ever since I've been here. We've been doing it for 8-9 years since I've been here, and it's you know, last night was probably the biggest selling ticket-wise that we've ever had, and you know, it all goes to the quarterback club, and you know they help us so much. I mean, I told the kids this morning before workouts, I said, you know, we are really blessed to be here in Elliott City because, you know, we got people that support us, you know, that they raise money, and we've got, you know, great equipment, great facilities, and, you know, and I said, you know, and it's not that, you know, people want us to win, and there's nobody wants to win more than me, but, you know, what they expect from me is to go out there and play hard and play with class and play with character and just make this community proud. And it was a big event last night, and all the funds go to feeding the team and what other things we need. And we got a 12th man club coming up in a couple of weeks. Also raise money for whatever we need. So, you know, we're lucky to be in a place where, you know, financially we're pretty well set, and you know, it all goes back to the kids.
Yeah, football is very important to this community and to really all the surrounding communities, but you'd be hard-pressed to find a place that's as passionate about their team as Alexander City is, I think. Well, I hate to tell you this, and I'm sure you already knew it, but you're not going to have N'Kobe Maxwell next year. That was one of my favorite players at BRHS ever. I just happened to be lucky enough to do a few segments with him last year where I followed along his recruitment, and just what a kid. What a really good kid. And I know you're going to miss him, but somebody's got to step up, and just like he stepped up last year, so who's that going to be this year?
Well, we got a couple of backs we're looking at, you know, Kiki, David, you know, those two in the backfield. We got a couple of 10th graders now that were 9th graders last year. That's going to see some action back there. But, you know, N'Kobe's going to be a hard person to replace because he you know, a good kid, but man, he was a hard, tough runner, and you know he's going to play in the All-Star game, you know, tomorrow night. As a matter of fact, up there for the South, and it's going to be hard to replace him. But we got a couple of people that I think, you know, we depending on that's going to carry the load that I think can get the job done.
Yeah, I get to call him tomorrow night. I'm going to call that game, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to get to see him play because I usually do the scoreboard show, so I don't get to see him play as much. And I was really disappointed that he wasn't a part of the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. I thought, you know, put him in there somewhere, return man, defensive back, whatever you want to do if it's not going to be running back. But, yeah, that's one of my favorite all-timers from BRHS in my time being from here. So what about quarterback situation, Coach? That's one thing probably everybody asks you about is who's going to be the quarterback and what's it going to be like this year?
Well, I mean, obviously the quarterback is the most important position of any sports position, you know, of any sport. And you got to have, you know, several qualities. You got to be a winner, number one. And you know, there's a lot of things go into it. And, you know, Landon Cotney was, he started about halfway through the season last year and played really well, you know, as a 10th grader. And we got him coming back, and you know, he's improved a little bit and grown a little bit more mature. And he's still got a lot of work to do and a lot of decision making. Now that's where he needs to, and that comes with a lot of experience, you know, and he needs to get better at making the better decisions on the field. But we're working with that, and you know, I feel good about him. You know, he's actually the second fastest player on our team. Wow. And he needs to use his legs a little bit more, and we've been working with that. And he just needs to get a little confidence, and he can throw the ball fairly well. And you know, we are a run first team, but you know, we still gonna have to throw the ball some, and he's got the capability of doing both.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Sports Media, and LMG Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design, tees and signs, ad placement, and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
If I'm not mistaken, your schedule switches up a little bit last year. It was tough sledding last year. You had more away games, did you not? Yeah. And this year you're going to have more home games. So that works out pretty well for you guys. Talk about the schedule and some of the interesting matchups you have coming up.
Well, yeah, last year we had 6 away games, and this year we got actually 7 home games because we're actually paying Minor to come here 2 years in a row. So that gave us 7 for this year, and you know, we got some big games at home, and we got, you know, Clay Central at home, first game. We got Opelika at home. We got Oxford at home. We got Wetumpka at home. We got Beauregard at home, and so there's, you know, a great home schedule, and we're looking forward to it. The only problem is we're playing the same teams, and they all were pretty good last year. And I told you know, our opponent's record last year was 80-32. And, you know, at the end of the regular season, if you go back and I always do this and add up your opponent's won and loss record, if they're around 500, you had a pretty good schedule. Well, ours was 80-32, and 8 out of the 11 teams were ranked when we played them. So we play the same folks. That's a bad thing, but the good thing is that we play 7 of them at home, and you know, that ought to help us out some.
Well, and not only that, I mean, you throw out casually and later down the list that you'll play Beauregard, who they just happen to have Mr. Football in the state of Alabama, who is a Mississippi State commitment now, and he's coming back. I would, if you don't mind, I'd like for you to talk a little bit about him and what he did last year and how he impressed you, because this is one of the more fascinating prospects in the state this season. I think Alabama and Auburn have looked another way, and he's going to Mississippi State. I think he could do big things in Starkville.
I do too. You know, they probably looking away because of his size. You know, he's only about 5'8", and nowadays, you know, if you're not 6 foot tall or something, they won't even look at you. You know, it's the craziest thing ever. You know, we had Tyree Gray that could play at Auburn, Alabama, Jacksonville State, and all them, and for some reason, you know, he goes up there at Murray State, and it's going to start. And
That's right.
He's been working this summer with us, and he's really gotten a lot better. And so you know, they put a lot of emphasis on size and that, but you know, he's about 5'8" and probably 195, and he's just a bowling ball. I mean, his legs is real, you know, that big around. I mean, he's just hard man to bring down. And you know, we didn't play that well against them last year. They ran up and down the field at will. You know, by the end of the year, defensively, we weren't too good last year, but you know, he
does that to a lot of teams.
Well, he does, but you know, you'd think that, you know, you'd be geared for him, but even though you know he's going to get the ball, you know, you still got to tackle him, and he's got deceptive speed too. He's a really good running back, and he's gonna. I noticed where he did sign or committed to Mississippi State, and they got them a person that it's not really well known, I don't think yet, but one day he will be, I think.
No, I'm right there with you, but I do have good news. Minor doesn't have Jalen Adams coming back, and I think that's a real positive thing. You know, they were one of the more interesting teams, and I wonder if they're going to have the same conundrum this season with their kicking game. I mean, they would just go for it everywhere.
Well, they changed coaches this year, and they had a lot of seniors last year. They lost a quarterback and lost that receiver and lost a running back, and so they're going to be a little bit different team, I think. But yeah, I mean, I never seen a team go forward on their own 5-yard line. Of course, obviously it worked. But we had a guy covered, and he slipped down and he caught it and then ran 95 yards. But that's kind of unusual. And as you know, and that's the thing about last year. We was in a lot of games, and then when something bad would happen, we would just fold, and we would never the same afterwards. And you know, during that game, the score was 14-14. We going in to score, and at least kick field goal. And we throw an interception, and this was less than 2 minutes left. We throw an interception, and we happen to stop them. Well, they go for it and score. They kick off, we fumble, and they score again. So instead of us being up at the least 17-14 at half, they up 28-14. And of course, they were very, very talented. But there's another game. You know, we played well up until 2 minutes of the second quarter, and then after that, and I mean, we go to Oxford, and you know, Oxford finished the season undefeated, and you know, we go in a halftime ahead and driving in the third quarter and throw a pick six. And after that, we just you know, we just had things like that happen to us. But you know, these kids, they've worked really hard this summer, and are
they hungry? You feel like they're very hungry after last year?
I think they learned a little bit from last year. I know I have. I wake up in the middle of the night with nightmares, you know, of just, you know, the ball just didn't bounce our way, and you have some years like that, and you know, playing tough teams. I'm not making excuses, but you know, we played some tough teams, and we wasn't as good as I was hoping that we'd turn out to be, and that's just not a good matchup. But I think these kids are a little bit more hungry. I think they understand, you know, what happened last year, and even though you know, we lost some really talented players last year, but I think this team is going to play a little bit more as a team, and I'm looking forward to it.
You know, I do wonder, Coach, how much of this last year, the disappointment last year, goes back to that Spanish Fort game where BRHS had the lead and then Spanish Fort makes their comeback. I wonder if you know, I may be overthinking it, saying there could have been some carryover, but you know, now hopefully it's over and done with. Is we welcome Albee, 2 Alabama guys. Welcome Albee up here. We'll still welcome. We're friendly. If we've won 3 in a row, we can be friendly to them, can't we, Coach? Well, Coach, thanks so much for being with us. And best of luck to you this year. I know you're going to do a great job. Can't wait to see you guys play and get out there, and maybe it'll cool off a little for you.
We're looking forward to it. I think the players are looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be an exciting season.
That was Coach Danny Horn, BRHS Wildcats. Does an amazing job every single year. Lucky to have him, and thankfully he is joining us today at Show Your Colors. We'll be back in just a minute.
June will mark 10 years of providing quality T-shirts, athletic uniforms, and promotional products for Lee Apparel. Our success is due in large part to the customers we serve in the Lake Martin community and the great state of Alabama. Our hopes are for many more years of success and growth. Contact Lee Apparel today at 256-825-0197 or on the web at leeapparel.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Sports Blitz Social Scene. Special thanks to our sponsors, the Sure Shot on Highway 280 in Alexander City, as well as LMG in our 4 divisions, Lee Apparel, Sign Source, LMG Advertising Agency, and R&B Sports Media. If you have ideas for future shows, please contact me at randy@sportsblitzlive.com. Until next week, thanks for tuning in to this week's Sports Blitz Social Scene.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, Sign Source has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. Sign Source.